ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. We here at Angry Me Production want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 99 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at TexasMobileNotaryMindy.com. That's TX, MobileNotaryMindy.com. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Today on Nerd Sports 128, we're gonna take a look at dinosaur boxing.
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
I would do that.
I seen that.
I would do that in those inflatable, like the inflatable T-Rex ones.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Throw me some gloves on there. I'll go stand in the ring in one of those.
That was, I saw that and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
It doesn't count as animal cruelty.
If
This
they're
is-
already dead.
now, are they really velociraptors unless they've got little people operating them?
Yeah, because the velociraptors are really small. They're like, yeah.
Yeah.
See, these are the Jurassic Park genetically modified
Oh, right. Yeah.
velociraptors.
So yesterday was the last day of the regular season for baseball. The playoffs started. We will get into the disappointments, the triumphs, the last second snuck in, gotcha bitches. But first, somebody that was very much a part of my early adulthood with the Boston Red Sox, Tim Wakefield, passed away yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah, today's Monday, so yeah, he passed away 4 days ago on Kurt Schilling's podcast without Tim Wakefield's permission. Kurt Schilling announced to the world that Tim Wakefield and his wife were both fighting cancer. Tim Wakefield kept this private. He kept it from the public eye because he didn't want anybody to know. He wanted to make sure that the eyes of Red Sox Nation wasn't going to be upon him, but it was going to be rooting for the team. And I read something today written by a guy who works for the Boston Globe. I don't necessarily like this writer, but he's been writing for the team or on the team beat for a couple of decades now.
Dan Shaughnessy. He is not liked by a lot of people in the Boston area, not liked around the country by a lot of Boston Red Sox fans. What the hell is going on with my microphone? Was like all tweaking out on me there. Okay. Anyway, so Dan Shaughnessy wrote, Tim Wakefield died Sunday morning. He died at the age of 57. It is at once shocking and impossibly sad. Just a few days ago, it seems, we were watching Wakefield's friendly face on NESN, which is the New England Sports Network, for those of you who don't know. You can hear my dogs in the background, and I'm going to scan each and every one of them. Promoting the he was on NESN promoting the annual Jimmy Fund Telethon. Now, Jimmy Fund, for those of you who don't know, it's an annual telethon, fundraiser drive that the New England area puts on to support, to raise money to support funding for the treatment of childhood cancer. It's been a big part of the Red Sox history, big part of Boston sports history for 80-something years. Okay. Actually, it's it goes back a long, long way. But it was always the Jimmy Fund with Tim Wakefield in it. I mean, Wake was always a part of it. And then came the shocking news, released against his wishes, that former Red Sox pitcher was battling brain cancer. So as of October 1st, 2023, it goes down as one of the saddest days in the 123-year history of Boston's American League Baseball franchise. Now, Wakefield, a knuckleballer, won 186 regular season games in parts of 17 seasons with the Red Sox. Overall, he won 200 in the big leagues. He was a crucial part of the 2004 Red Sox, winning 12 regular season games and another one against the Yankees in the ALCS. His willingness to step forward and take the ball in a 19-8 Game 3 slaughter that was the selfless moment that enabled the Sox to forge their biblical comeback against the Bronx Bombers. But that's just the baseball part of it. Wake was always more than a ball player. He was a community pillar for his 3 decades in Greater Boston. He won Major League Baseball's prestigious Roberto Clemente Award in 2010. He was nominated by the Red Sox for that award 8 times. He hosted 1 million Jimmy Fund golf tournaments, said yes every time a worthy cause beckoned. New England loved him for this, and now we mourn. No one outside of Wakefield's inner circle was prepared for Sunday's devastating news. It is all very sudden for Red Sox Nation. Now, Tim's wife, Stacy, was already battling cancer when Tim started having vision problems just a few weeks ago. When he went to have things checked out, brain cancer was discovered, and he underwent surgery shortly after the diagnosis. The Wakefields chose not to disclose their illness to the public, but that plan went awry last Wednesday when former teammate Curt Schilling recklessly broke the news on his podcast. And in the hours after Schilling's outrageous violation of family privacy, the Red Sox issued a brief statement that read in part, their health is a deeply personal matter that they intended to keep private as they navigate treatment and work to tackle this disease. Tim and Stacy are appreciative of the support and love that has always been extended to them and respectfully ask for privacy at this time. 3 days later, we got the word that Tim is gone, and the Boston sports world is reeling. This feels like something when Celtic All-Star Reggie Lewis died while shooting baskets at Brandy's in the summer of '93. Reggie had endured a heart event in the '93 playoffs, but nobody thought that he'd be taken so suddenly. Not many Bostonians are old enough to remember what it was like here when Red Sox starter Harry Agnes, hitting .313 in his second Red Sox season, died in June of 1955 after being hospitalized with a pulmonary in May. Wakefield won the 2 World Series rings with the Red Sox and was part of 8 playoff teams. He started more than 430 games and pitched more innings than anyone in franchise history. That number came to 3,006 innings. He is a Red Sox Hall of Famer and planned to join his 2004 teammates in the 20th reunion of the 04 flag next summer. Boston's 2-time World Series manager Terry Francona had a soft spot for the knuckleballer, and in 2012 noted, quote, "He was always ready to help out. Anytime we were short on pitching, he'd come find me and say, 'I got my spikes on.'" Wakefield was the unfortunate one who yielded the season-ending excruciating walk-off homer, and I'm ad-libbing here, to Aaron fucking Boone. Yeah. In the Grady Little Game 7 in the 2003 ALCS.
That was heartbreaking.
Wake worried all winter that he would go down in history as the Bill Buckner of the 21st century, but it never happened. He heard the love from Fenway fans on opening day 2004, and that love never wavered. Wakefield participated in this year's 20th annual Jimmy Fund Telethon, August 30th, looking healthy and hearty, appearing via Zoom from his home. He joined Nesson host Tom Karen, Jimmy Fund Clinic play lady, Lisa Schreiber, or Schreiber, there we go. Scherber, there we go. And the Jimmy Fund family for at least a 7-minute segment in which he professed his love for all things Jimmy Fund. Scherber, who had been working with children at the Jimmy Fund Clinic since 1992, recalled, quote, "It was magic. He walked in and I knew. I always knew how important this is," Wakefield said during the telethon. "Seeing what the teenagers and younger kids have to go through, I knew they were in the best hands possible. And then I know that if anything ever happened to my 2 children, then the first phone call I would make would be to get them into Dana-Farber. I'm just honored to be on the air and to be a superstar of a supporter of the Jimmy Fund, and for years and years, I will always have your guys' back. That's for sure." That was a quote from Tim Wakefield. Now, before signing off that day, this was just the other day, Tim Wakefield made a $20,000 pledge to the Jimmy Fund on behalf of, quote, "my family." And at the end of the segment, he said, "Thank you guys. I love you. And I'll see you next week."
Man,
That's a tough one. That's a rough one. Especially to go that quickly.
You know, as a Red Sox fan, losing Tim Wakefield hurt. I've been a Red Sox fan for as long as I can remember. When we lost Jerry Remy last year, you know, that hurt because he was part of the culture. He was part of the region. You saw him every day on the television broadcasts. I mean, Jerry Remy was a hometown kid, and it hurt. You know, I mean, actually, it was 2 years ago that we lost Remy, but my wife and I went up to Boston the week that I proposed to her. We landed in Boston the day after Jerry Remy died. When we took our private tour of Fenway Park, we got to see the bouquet of roses that occupied his seat in the television booth that has since been renamed the Jerry Remy booth. But losing Wake was hard. He helped bring into reality something that a lot of Red Sox fans, and myself included, thought that we'd never get to see. We never thought for a second that we would be able to see our team win the World Series. He helped make it a reality, not once, but twice during his time in uniform. I firmly believe that if the Red Sox ownership group had a shred of decency within them, that one of the first things that they do next year is to put the number 49 on the facade at Fenway Park and retire his number. Because of the things that he meant to this team in and out of uniform, on and off the active player roster. It's immeasurable. The only person that can really even come close to matching the level of importance and overall spirit of the Red Sox would be David Ortiz. I know that a lot of some of y'all might recall a couple years ago there was a failed murder attempt on David Ortiz's life when he was visiting home in the Dominican Republic. Boy, you want to talk about Reddit, Twitter, Facebook. I mean, there was almost a mass mobilization of Red Sox Nation to go down and personally help the Dominican authorities hunt down the would-be killer, because you don't shoot Big Papi, right?
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that with Wake, it really, I mean, it came out of nowhere. Do I think that Curt Schilling was wrong? Yeah, absolutely. 100% out of line. Jason Varitek's wife, Catherine, on Twitter just absolutely teed off. And she, all caps, was like, that was not your fucking place, Curt. How dare you, kind of a thing. And
Yeah, to simply say not cool is not nearly enough.
yeah, I mean, not cool is not nearly enough. Exactly. So, and then to lose him 3 days later. Right. I don't want to go out on a limb. I don't want to go out there and say that Schilling had anything to do with it by bringing his fight to the public eye. If anything, and I'm not making excuses for Curt Schilling at all, but if anything, it gave Red Sox Nation a chance to at least prepare. But I mean, it doesn't matter if the news was dropped 6 months ago. I mean, the fact that he'd only been diagnosed just a couple of months ago. No, actually, yeah, just a few weeks ago, having vision problems. That tells you that this was a very aggressive form of brain cancer.
Yep. Because it wasn't all that advanced by the time. Well, it was advanced, but not to that point when he was diagnosed.
Yeah,
means it just ripped right through him.
Yes, I mean, the fact that he had brain surgery, that means that they'd went in to at the very least assess the size of the tumor, eyes on, try to excise some of it. Couldn't get all of it, and what they couldn't get just progressed rapidly.
Yeah.
I tried very hard. I fought with myself pretty hard today, debating whether or not I was going to bring up Tim Wakefield tonight, just because of what he meant and what he continues to mean to Red Sox Nation. And, you know, you could almost look at it like seeing our team, my team at least, you know, win as prolifically as they did during their 4 World Series championship runs. You can say it almost, I mean, it spoiled us to an extent. It really opened our eyes to the possibilities of what could be. It definitely elevated sections of Red Sox Nation to heights of insufferability that are usually reserved for New York Yankee fans. But Tim Wakefield was like, he was just there, you know. I mean, like you almost kind of took him for granted because of the fact that you never expected him to go anywhere. You know, it's like Dale Earnhardt Sr. You know, heroes aren't supposed to die. But it's just a stark reminder that, you know, the reason why baseball is perfect is because we get to sit and we get to watch imperfect men playing it. So when I finally decided that I was going to, you know, talk about, I was going to put some dedicated time into talking about Wake, I really couldn't come up with the words that would have, for me at least, felt like it brought a sense of clarification for, you know, our listening audience, or at the very least would have made me feel better. And then I stumbled across the Dan Shaughnessy piece. And as much as I don't like the guy, he did put it pretty eloquently. And so, I mean, Kevin Youkilis, Kevin Millar, David Ortiz, Dustin Pedroia. I mean, there's a lot of people that played with him during his time in the in the Red Sox organization that were just completely hit out of left field. And Jason Varitek, I mean, I will guarantee you that Tim Wakefield's funeral, or at least his public viewing, there's going to be lines that are going to be backed up around the block several times for people to be able to go in and pay their last respects to Tim Wakefield. We'll never, ever, ever see another knuckleball thrown like the way that he did it. and
well, even a Mariners pitcher tried to do the knuckleball, and
yeah, he threw his first pitch was a knuckleball pitch, and he did that as a tribute to Tim Wakefield. So, you know,
yeah,
that was classy. You know, even though the Mariners missed the playoffs, that was classy. So, you know, I'm not saying that we need to do a moment of silence for Tim Wakefield or, you know, or anything like that. But, you know, at the very least, I mean, even if you're not a Red Sox fan, you contribute to whatever cancer research fund that you might happen to be aware of, and, you know, or at the very least, reach out and, you know, directly donate to the Jimmy Fund. It's a good cause. It fights a terrible disease, and it gives kids hope that, you know, one day that they're going to be able to, you know, to pull the IVs out and to be able to walk out of that hospital for the very last time. And they'll be able to carry on and live normal lives. And, you know, one day we might see a Jimmy Fund recipient suiting up, putting on the spikes, and running out onto the field somewhere in the major league somewhere someday and playing his first game of professional Major League Baseball. So,
yeah.
But with that being said, the playoffs are upon us. I'm going to address the elephant in the room, Chris.
Listen, I'm not really broken up about it. I mean, yes, we didn't take the pennant. Okay. I will accept that, especially looking at the record. And it came down to a tiebreaker.
It did. It came down to a tiebreaker. Now, that being said, the broadcasters for the TV, for the TV side for the Rangers, man, I'm just saying, dude.
Drop the motherfucking ball on that one.
Yeah,
yeah, they did, but
we are.
Tell me you're not bitter without actually telling me that you're bitter. I mean, they were on air and outright accusing the Diamondbacks of rolling over and playing a soft roster for the Astros.
Yeah, come on.
Because first off, it is not the Diamondbacks' responsibility to make sure that the Texas Rangers won their division.
Exactly.
That was on the Rangers and the Rangers alone.
Listen, if they hadn't have fallen apart after the All-Star break, we wouldn't even be having the conversation.
They were talking about it last night on the Red Sox radio broadcast.
Yeah, they would have run away with it. There's only one
and the Red Sox finished under 500. They are going nowhere. They are all home today. Right. All right. I no longer have a fucking dog in the fight as far as the playoffs are concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Period. Now, that being said, I wholeheartedly agree that even though the Rangers clinched a playoff spot the day before on Saturday, the fact that they didn't win their division after having led their division for a majority of the season and a majority of the final week,
right?
Even though you made the playoffs, I would say that this season would almost classify as a collapse.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
I agree. I mean, as I said, there was a small rally towards the end that put them, because they had fallen as far as third place under the Mariners. So there was a small rally to come back and actually clinch it. But it should never have come down to being that tight. There should have been no question on who was going to win the West.
Right.
There should have been no question.
Now, so as far as the rest of the major leagues is concerned, this will be the first time since I think like 2018 that the baseball playoffs have not included A, the New York Yankees, B, the Boston Red Sox, or C, the St. Louis Cardinals. All three teams are absent from the playoffs for the first time since 2018. Actually, 2019, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so
that makes me happy.
There is a bracket out there now.
Not for your
like a March Madness thing. Oh, dude.
But
you don't have to apologize to me because I knew. I was unequivocally, unabashedly transparent from the beginning of the season that my Sox they were not going anywhere.
I think you called it in like April.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
I want to say around April you called it and was like, listen, it's a building year. We always have next year.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely and perfectly honest with you, man, it wasn't one of these. Hey, we're going to set the bar real low, so that way when they exceed that standard, I'm going to be like, yeah, those are my boys. Had they made the playoffs, son, they would not get past the first round.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I am worried about the Rangers in this.
Yeah, because their first go. Oh,
the Red Sox making it into the playoffs. What was it? Year before last, when they made it to the ALCS, they got 2 games from the World Series against the Astros.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the Rangers first.
Every opportunity I got to watch the Red Sox in the postseason made me happy because I knew beyond the shadow of a doubt in my military mind that they were punching above their weight.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm like, either because had they gotten past the Astros, they probably would have gotten swept by the Braves.
Now I'm going to put my Ranger goggles on for just a little bit and just say that I do hope that they were just saving themselves in this last series. They only needed the 1 win in order to get in.
Okay.
So
well,
they
David, I want you to
got the 1 win, and then they just, they coasted to be able to save themselves for this. I know better. I absolutely know better. This is just wishful thinking.
Okay, so here's how I've got my brackets set. Okay, for the postseason. All right, you've got Baltimore and Houston have the best records in the American League, so they get a bye week. Right, they get the bye for the first series. Right.
Right.
So for the wild card round, you've got the 4th seeded Rays playing against the 5th seeded Rangers. You've got the number 3 Twins facing off against the number 6 Blue Jays. So out of that pairing, I've got Tampa Bay beating Texas and moving on to play Baltimore in the divisional round. Okay, and it's nothing against the Rangers. I know that the Rangers basically kind of backed into the playoffs. They've got bullpen issues, they've got starting pitcher issues, and their offense is just barely coming up out of a valley.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
So,
I'm very worried about this series.
In the divisional series, I've got the Orioles against the Rays. I've got the Blue Jays against the Astros. Now, I have the Astros and the Orioles moving on to the ALCS. And, here's what I'm going to do. Let me pull this up here. No, Dave, I'm pulling up my bracket here.
Yeah, Dave, get the shit out of here.
Like, back off, fucko.
Sorry, I was actually. Sorry.
You do get some points for being Johnny on the spot and having it, ready to go. But
we've already got a Johnny on the show.
Don't forget that. This looks like a piece of shit, like some kindergarten kid, made up. But good job, Johnny.
Yeah, but this one's filled out.
I don't give a shit.
The other one wasn't filled out. So
mine was filled out.
Support.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't filled out.
I got numbers on mine. Those are made on crayon.
This actually has his picks. Like, I understand you have a hard time reading, but read. It's filled out with his picks so that he can actually see how in the middle it shows Atlanta Braves. That's who he's picking to win the whole thing. See, it's all filled out, professional like.
All right. So I've got the Astros beating the Orioles because if you think about it, yes, while the Orioles are the number 1 seed, they've got the best record in the American League. At the end of the day, it comes down to playoff experience.
The Astros do have a ton.
The Astros have got a wealth of that. I would probably say that the Astros are going to beat the Orioles in 5 games for the ALCS. They're going to advance to the World Series. Now, for the National League, we've got Atlanta and Los Angeles, opposite coasts. Got the bye for the first series. So the wild card, we've got Philadelphia against the Marlins. We've got the Milwaukee Brewers against the Diamondbacks. I've got the Brewers beating the Diamondbacks and moving on to play LA, and I've got the Phillies going in to play Atlanta. Now, you want to talk about a team that absolutely fell into the playoffs? It would have to be the Philadelphia Phillies. Absolutely. They have been hot garbage all year long. But they made it in. They made it to the World Series last year as a wild card. So anything can happen, right? Baseball does what baseball does. But I've got the Braves playing the Dodgers in the NLCS. I've got the Braves taking it. If the Braves can stay organized, if the Braves can stay consistent the way that they've been for most of the regular season, there's a little bit of question as far as their starting pitching is concerned. But I think that their offense and their bullpen will definitely pick up that slack and fill some holes that need to be filling there. It's going to probably take 6 games for the Braves to overcome the Dodgers. But then we're looking at a we're looking at a World Series rematch, not from last year, but from 2 years ago. And I think it's going to come out the same way it did 2 years ago. I think the Braves are going to take the Astros. It might take them 6 games to do it, but I think the Braves are going to – I've got the Braves picked to win it all. So right here, as a matter of fact, live, I'm going to submit my picks. And it asks you some questions. In addition to filling out your bracket, you must also predict the number of games that will be played during the 2023 World Series. I said 6, so I'm going to go ahead and say 6. Tiebreaker questions. How many total home runs do you think will be recorded during the entire or all of the 2023 postseason series? I'm going to say 34.
Interesting.
Even though the Braves set a single season franchise record for most home runs in a single season, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to say 41. I'm going to say 41. Actually, you know what? I think Tim Wakefield will have something to say about that. There'll be 49 home runs hit during the entire postseason. So there you go. How many runs do I think will be scored during the entire 2023 World Series? 26. Because both pitching staffs are just going to be absolutely on fire. I think they're going to be low-scoring games. It's going to be very defensively minded, which is another reason why I think that the Braves are going to come out on top. I think they've got just a little bit better of a defense than Houston does. And, you know, defense wins games, hands down, 100%. So, and we're going to go ahead and put my name in here. And submit my picks. All right. There we go. So I waited to do that until we got on the air to submit my actual bracket. So I'm locked in. There's not going to be any of this waffling, you know, none of this throwing the penalty platypus and going to need to get a replay on that. No, I am on record having submitted what my picks are going to be. So
I disagree on the Astros. I think they're going to fall to Baltimore.
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
I still think it's going to be the Braves getting all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the Astros are going in this year.
If they do, I'm going to try everything within my power to get to at least one World Series game so I can check that off the bucket list.
Oh, hell yeah.
But, and I would love to be wrong. Do not get me wrong. I would love to be wrong, but I just think that nobody has anything for the Braves this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're going to have to sit through an entire season of insufferable Braves fans not knowing what to do because they're not used to a city that wins anything.
Oh, God.
You know, it's like
Listen, if you live in Atlanta now, you better start making sure your insurance is paid up.
Yeah. I mean, Atlanta's a lot like Cleveland, except hotter.
It's worse.
You know, I mean, whereas Cleveland smells because of the river, Atlanta stinks because humidity and pollen. So, you know, there's that. I'm just kind of putting that out there. So moving on to the NFL. Yeah.
This was a fun week.
It was. Let me get in here. All right. So
I have one thing though.
Wait. I'm going to give you some props, David. Right out of the chute.
And you better enjoy it because this doesn't happen often.
Chris and I picked the Packers to beat the Lions on Thursday night. Well, by God, the Lions surprised everybody and made David a winner.
The sun does shine on a dog's ass once in a while.
Blind squirrel finds a nut.
And
blind pigs find truffles.
It was shining brightly for our dear
And
David.
I lost a friend because of that.
Eh,
So
Mike
really your
Mike
friend?
commented on the our picks is like, congratulations on being right. Unfortunately, you rooted against my Packers, therefore we no longer be friends. Now I reply, it's like, listen, I know this is an upset. This is upsetting you right now that you back and I put a green throw up face Bay Packers, Green Bay Packers. See what I did there.
You're nice.
I would like to discuss it in more detail, and hopefully we could continue our friendship because we still hate the donkeys. And he goes, okay, we do hate the donkeys. So so you are what we can work things out. And he put the a meme of Packers Bronco fans be liking the Bronco, like, I guess it's like a sex thing. Roar, I'm a horse.
Yeah. Okay. So for the next game, it was the game played at Wembley Stadium in London. We had the Jags pick to beat the Falcons.
Did
was
you
almost
guys watch
embarrassing.
did you watch the Toy Story
No.
animation thing? I haven't been able. I haven't had a chance to go and look on Disney Plus to see if it's on there. So
I'm almost to the point where I've seen footage from it, and I'm just like, I don't think that I could bring myself to watch that and take the game seriously. And like, it's designed to bring 6 and 7-year-olds into the game.
I want to see how bad it actually is, because it didn't. Yes, it felt very.
It would almost be akin to Nickelodeon putting slime graphics in real time on the game.
Yeah,
it's
pretty much like that.
They actually had a Nickelodeon slime game last year, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't they doing that again this year?
It wouldn't.
Yeah, I think so. Now, the next game, it was the Bills over the Fish. Now, Chris, you decided to break rank and thought that the Dolphins, after putting up 70 points, were just going to go in and they were going to absolutely decimate Buffalo.
God, you're wrong on that one.
Buffalo took the challenge to heart, and they put a 48-point beat down on the Dolphins. Now, to the Dolphins' credit, they managed to actually put up 20 points, but still, that was a 3-4 score game. That was a 4-possession game.
Yep.
So now that everybody, after this game, we have all fallen back into step with each other. We can
maybe
we right. Now, we went out on a limb and we decided that the Vikings were going to seek out and get their first win of the season against the Panthers, and they did, 21-13. The next game.
Yeah.
This was
See, this is why we don't pick either one of these teams to win, because they always fucking disappoint.
Every time.
Every damn time. Now,
my only thing is how can you fuck over 28 game lead in the last quarter?
It's an NFL tradition.
I mean,
because it keeps happening.
I found the Bear in Saturday Night Live skit with the Bear fans.
mm-hmm.
I found that they were doing the whole, we're going to return all of our stuff, our bear mugs, our bear hats with the ears.
Mm-hmm.
And it got deleted, so I can't put it up.
Keep our old style beer.
We will never. We were always go.
Our reboiled hot dogs left over from the Cubs.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Chicago Soldier Field in Bears games is probably the only place where White Sox fans and Chicago Cubs fans could coexist and commiserate in unified misery.
Yeah, that's true.
Just, dude, it's so horrible. Now, moving on from there, the Donkeys did manage to win, by the way. Notice how I didn't spend a lot of time focusing on that.
Yeah.
Broncos
Yeah.
country. Let's ride. Don't forget your strap-ons and put your pegs.
Over
Put your
the
little
Bears.
plugs on the back of that saddle there, guys. Yeehaw.
It
All
was
right.
3 points over the Bears. Like that's
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, that was the weekly exercise in futility,
Yeah.
irrelevancy. Now, this one hurt. We picked the Browns to beat the Ravens. Why? I don't know. Our gut feeling said to go with the Ravens, but for whatever reason, we decided to go with the Browns.
This is why we don't put money on these games because
Yeah,
so
this is why we don't put money on these games. Absolutely. 28-3.
That is
But you know what? I'll take that one. Now, the game after that should have been the lock of the week. But something started to stir around Houston. A storm, if you will. There was news reports, there were sightings, there was confirmed presence. JJ Watt brought his family to H-Town this weekend to be inducted into the Ring of Honor.
you know
I don't care what it is that JJ Watt's trying to motivate me for. If that dude comes in and he starts giving me a speech about dedication, honor, camaraderie, esprit de corps, by God, I'm going to run through a fucking brick wall for that man.
Yes, I am charging hell with a bucket of water.
Bucket of gasoline. You kidding me? The Texans beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 30-6. I'm like, good God, where did that come from?
It's bleed over from the Astros. It has to be. There was the Astros sprinkled a little bit of their.
Well, the Astros didn't play until later in the evening.
But it was they knew they were going to. They knew they were going to get it.
I know that, but I attribute that game to the JJ Watt factor. That is all that was.
Yeah,
JJ Watt factor.
That makes sense.
It's a fluke.
I'll give you that.
I mean, I'm willing to write that off and send it to my congressman as a tax expense.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, Ted Cruz, I know you're a Cowboys fan, so can you help me make this make sense? Next on the docket, we had the Rams beating the Colts. That one happened 29-23. Moving on, we had the Saints over the Bucks
Again.
And who they that disappoint us all the time. That would be the New Orleans Aints. That's who that. Okay. 26-9.
I still didn't feel comfortable with the Saints. I still
didn't either, but
the
News really don't have much this year.
No.
Now, we had the Redskins losing to the Eagles. That one happened, but by barely.
That was
a good game.
It was a good game from what I saw, but
should not have been that close.
It should not have been that close, but that kind of gives you reason to stop and pause and think, does Washington have something for somebody this year? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Knowing the Cowboys' luck and the way that it's been going so far this year, they'll go out and win 2 games and then drop a damn goose egg. And guess who it'll be against? Ugh. Okay.
They're going to stomp 2 and then landslide lose by 1.
Yeah.
And then go and just rinse and repeat.
Then we had the Bengals beating up on the Titans, which should have been, you would think. But I don't know what the hell Joe Burrow's problem is this year. What is going on with you, Joe? I mean, really, call in, comment, drop by, do something, do anything. I do not care.
We didn't know.
But figure it out, bud. Right now, you're 10-ply. You're spare parts. I mean, come on, man. It's fucking embarrassing.
You're a Pop-Tart. You're soft in the middle.
God. Your entire O-line's getting a getting a squeezy on the aqueduct on the aqueduct right there. Good God. Give your balls a tug, tit fucker. Jeez. Speaking of which, season 2 of Shoresy is out.
Oh yeah, it is, Brad.
It already dropped?
Yeah.
I gotta check it out.
Fuck you, Shorzy. For what?
For what? Huh?
But the Titans managed to beat up on the Bengals 27-3. Then we had the Chargers over the Raiders.
No, the Raiders fans.
Chargers sacked
hold
the
on, hold
Raiders
on.
6 times on Sunday.
Hold on, everybody. Before we go through this, I wanted to put something up for the Raiders fan. Just because.
Did you hear that elbow? Those were both of my elbows.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened.
I thought you
Oh,
like
wow.
moved your chair.
That
or
was
something.
weird.
that
That
was
was my elbows, bro.
that was brutal.
That
I
is
just
so-
wanted to put up this for the Raiders. Suicide hotline. I know you need to be upset
That's
about this week, but yeah, just remember 988, and you can get some help for your sadness and depression.
Now, theoretically, the Raiders could probably blame Bono and U2 because they did open up the Las Vegas Sphere with the first ever concert inside of it, which footage from that on TikTok looked absolutely
awesome.
amazing.
yes. I can't stand YouTube, but for something like that. The only thing is, can you imagine how much tickets would be to get in there? Like, it's bad enough that it's going to be U2. You know, it's going to be $200.
Oh, yeah.
But then you add all the stuff, like they have to justify paying for the whole thing.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Which
Vegas Ball.
the Sphere.
Yeah, the Sphere.
Like even
Every
the
one of those LEDs is as big as a baseball.
yeah.
I mean, that right there, David. That is the size of a single LED inside that sphere.
Can you imagine watching porn in that thing?
You would get vertigo and you would be dodging money shots left and right.
You'd be ducking right there.
I mean, all right. So, like,
Like that episode, or no, did you ever play the Stick of Truth from South Park?
Not bad.
You have that one part where the underwear gnomes shrink you down and you're having to crawl across the bed while your parents are screwing.
yeah,
It would be just like that.
I guess they have constant shows because the tickets aren't that bad.
well, it's the headliners
Yeah.
now, unless they're doing a residency tour. But
Yeah, I mean these are the tickets right here. 69 to 200, so it's not that bad. I guess it's just a
That's just a regular
show.
That's not even a concert.
yeah, that's not a concert. I mean, think of this as maybe a glorified planetarium. But yeah, watching porn on that, I'm like, oh my god, imagine if you were a reporter. Good God, you would drown.
Wars. That would be too much. I don't know about that. Like that, you're gonna see angles and wrinkles and shit from perspectives.
or butt pimples.
Oh, I know, right?
Fuck.
Like you can put makeup on and cover that when it's on your phone, but on a screen that size, there's no hiding from it.
No, there's not.
You can't airbrush.
Can you imagine if the guy that you had help you hook that up to watch porn on the inside of the sphere actually accidentally hit the wrong button and broadcasted your fucked up fetish to the entire city?
Mommy, what is that octopus doing to that lady?
You got Corey Case over there going, "Help me, stepson, my head's stuck in the dryer."
Mommy,
So Bill Belichick decided that he was going to bring his team down to Dallas to Jerry World and the Dallas Cowboys. Mac Jones got benched before the first half was even over. The Cowboys embarrassed the New England Patriots 38-3.
You'll love to see it.
Not for nothing. That whole if you actually watch that whole game, there were so many. It was pretty much on both sides.
The reason why the Cowboys didn't score more points is because the offense right now is just a tiny bit on the inept side.
Yeah. Because I'm surprised the actual point spread was that large, only because there were so many interceptions on both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good game.
Control, man.
And
If you want to give Cowboys Nation, if Dak Prescott wants to give the Cowboys fans a chance to rewatch a Super Bowl victory on something besides VHS, he's going to have to bring those interception numbers down by a lot.
Oh God, yes. Because dude. And they didn't score that many points until like the third quarter. It was a pretty damn good game until like the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, after halftime, Cowboys came out. I mean, they kind of played like a team possessed a little bit, but I mean, like, seriously?
Yeah.
Come on, man. But moving on, we had the 49ers beating the Cardinals. That happened in a big wave. 49ers advanced to 4-0, 35-16 over Arizona.
No surprise there.
Yeah. Then Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Taylor Swift go to the Meadowlands to play the New York Jets.
I am beyond tired of everything to do with Taylor Swift.
I proposed this theory.
They showed her more than they showed.
I understand that, but here's the thing. Here's why. Just hear me out. Submitted for your approval. A little bit of Rod Sterling there for you. Everybody says, you get all these Swifties that are like, oh, T-Swift's going to put Travis Kelce on the map. Nay.
Other way around.
I submit to you that Travis Kelce is going to save Taylor Swift's music career.
Which that alone, I kind of hate him for.
Yeah. But
okay. I got
the internet is a buzz now.
I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to shut this down right now because everybody's missing the greatness that was actually there. Hugh Jackman
and Kelsey's mom.
No. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds were there in the same box.
Yeah, but Ryan Reynolds didn't really look
Taylor Swift. I don't give
Ryan
a shit.
Reynolds didn't watch but maybe 10 minutes of that game.
Yeah, he could not care less.
Couldn't care less.
He's
you know why? Because he owns his own football team.
The Wrexham. What is? I don't even know what his mascot.
Wrexham FC, I think it is.
Wrexham Dragons.
Yeah, but point is, the Kelce mom, dude, she was rubbing elbows with T Swift last week in the box, and then this week she's in there hobnobbing with Jake from fucking State Farm.
No way.
Yeah. That is right. That was right. That was funny.
That's when you know you've made it.
And I submit to you tonight's dinner, Frito chili pie,
dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
you got the chips on the bottom, you got the chili and the cheese, the sour cream, the onion, and you got to have the Cholula sauce, bro.
I have a pork roast going in the slow cooker right now.
See, that's what's up. But now, the thing about the Chiefs' margin of victory over the Jets, and everybody thought it was football IQ living in the year 3000. You got like a minute 47 left. Patrick Mahomes has got the end zone dead to rights. He slides and comes to a complete stop in bounds on the 3-yard line and cost gamblers and books all across the world and in Las Vegas close to about, I think it was $80 million.
Oh man!
Yesterday, last night.
Jesus.
For the spread,
$60 million worth of sports bets were placed in the U.S. alone for the Chiefs to cover the spread.
Oh
They
man!
did not.
No,
Because Mahomes decided he was going to stunt on everybody that bet on the Chiefs to win.
Wow.
I think that was like the highlight of the damn game.
Be like, you got it, psych.
And of course, everybody was just kind of like, oh, great. Because T Swift took out all the, she went to dinner with Blake Lively, Brittany Mahomes, which is Patrick Mahomes' wife, and then a couple of other players' wives, including Travis's brother's wife. I cannot remember her name. They were all there. They all went out to dinner. She was hobnobbing, and it was like, wait a minute. At this point, you're a girlfriend, right? That we know of. Because NFL wives usually try to stick together, and they kind of push the girlfriends out until they become wives, because it's like, we don't want to let you into that inner circle.
Yeah. It's like you got to earn your way in here. But it's T Swift. So
I don't really care.
exactly.
If anything, if T Swift was still just a girlfriend, it's like, okay, oh, great. We're sharing a box of T Swift. Ooh, hey, selfie for the IG. There are some things that just still like should remain sacred, like only men being in the infantry, stuff like that. Right. Not lowering the standards for Ranger School, stuff like that. I think that the Players' Wives Club needs to remain one of those like Freemason, type society. There's a sacred handshake, and you got the History Channel doing like a documentary on it, and they get it horribly wrong. Because it doesn't matter how much you pixelate and mask the voice of the person who comes in and blows the whistle on everything, that person's going to end up dead in a ditch somewhere out in the middle of Nebraska somewhere and not be seen until harvest time next year. Right.
It's a harvest.
And that's only because the combine's making that turn, and said person gets caught up in the blades or something, and it just brings the whole thing to a stop because they can't cut through bone.
They disassemble the entire PTO just to dig them out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking kid into the tractor again.
Yeah, it's like, damn it, Bobby. Now, what I did see, Donald Trump was out making his rounds through the farmland. I think earlier yesterday or today. Went out. Some guys working the field with his combine. Donald Trump he goes and autographs the side of dude's John Deere combine.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah,
I'm never washing this
on a tear, dude. He has absolutely just unleashed the vocabulary for what you would consider for a presidential candidate. He's dropping F-bombs like crazy, dude. It is magnificent. Just once, I would love to see somebody get elected, go into the White House, and something happens either overseas and it really kind of threatens our interests, or something happens here and it's a threat to national security or our sovereignty. And he goes up on the podium and he's like, I'm going to say this one time to the offending party. And he's got to use the knife hand. Pull your head out from your fucking ass, or I will rain fire upon you. Okay?
Right.
God bless America. Good night.
How much more epic would it have been on 9/12, and you see Bush on the pile, and when he's addressing and all the credit, how much more epic would it have been if he would have dropped an F-bomb right then?
Oh yeah.
Listen, fuckers. All you fuckers that did this, we're fucking coming.
I can hear you. And soon the people that brought these towers down are going to fucking hear you.
Right? Right?
That would have been perfect.
Come on. You can't tell me that that's not warranted. That would have been
Right?
wildly appropriate.
Mm-hmm. And dude, the chance of USA would still be heard.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
There would have been a
That's there
tangible
for
blanket
eternity.
woven over Manhattan, and it would still be hanging out in space to this day.
Hell yeah.
All right, so let me get a hold.
Throw it up on the screen. Let's see what we got.
Yeah.
We're throwing the real one up there, David.
One.
Not whatever
No,
price.
I'm not going to talk about NASCAR yet. All right, because
We still got to do our picks. Even though it's going to be tough to do because Seahawks still have to play the New York Football Giants.
we're done with the picks, with the exception of tonight's game.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, except for next week's picks.
Yeah, we got to do next week.
Mhm. But I bring to you from the depths, from the smoke of obscurity and the fog of war from last week, where he was sadly missing.
Oh,
Like the prodigal son, he has returned,
rising from the ashes like a phoenix.
rising from the ashes like a phoenix.
Oh,
Ooh.
Bring forth hints, Mr. Producer. I bring to you, ladies and gentlemen, after a week hiatus, Colin. What's up, bud?
Hi.
I built you up, dude. We're talking like rising from the ashes like a phoenix from the cloud of war, and from a week hiatus, and it was just that deep.
epic. You could hear the war horns.
It was like, I mean,
Blaring in the distance.
Valhalla was crying out because it was missing a warrior. So,
Hey,
like,
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Are y'all doing good? I'm so happy, guys.
look at that. You can fit so much in there.
It's,
Speaking of which, okay, so
exciting.
I decided to throw a little snap tight kit for an F-14 together.
there you go. Sexiness.
I'm gonna paint this thing completely gold, and I'm gonna make a little homemade Top Gun trophy, and I'm gonna hang it on the wall back here.
Oh, cool.
Right?
The trophy
Hey.
for second place is in the women's bathroom.
Oh no! See, there's two O's in my goose.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Is it like a cookie thirsty or something?
Huh? What'd you say?
Turkey baster.
David.
Every time.
Top Gun is a movie about airplanes. You, Mr. Sky Janitor, the air wing of the military, we thought that you would, at the very least, would know about this. You could quote that movie verbatim. You have erotic dreams about the volleyball game. You're crying out loud.
Actually, I've never
I know,
really.
He was so caught up on that. All he could see was just sweaty, shirtless men in tight jeans. That's all it was.
Yeah, I kind of blanked out after.
I bet he's got a loop. Kenny Loggins playing in his bathroom, playing with the boys. Come on, man.
Every time the light turns the light on.
Little spritz of baby oil hits him in the chest.
Why are you upset about that? I mean, it took me a long time to set
Oh
that up.
no, we're not upset about it, dude. I mean, if anything, kind of low key jealous about it. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, seriously, man.
Saying, yeah. I mean,
It took
All
me
right,
a long
Paul, are you ready to wow us this week? Because while we delivered your jokes from last week on our own,
oh, yeah.
the delivery just wasn't there. Just kind of fell flat. It wasn't the same without you, bud.
These jokes are.
So you're making up for your absence last week?
Yes, these are pretty
All right.
high
For
quality.
those of you who don't know, Colin last week was absent from the filming of our episode because he was playing in a scrimmage game for his high school baseball team. Tomorrow night, he has actually his first game, right?
What?
Is your first game tomorrow?
No, it's another scrimmage game.
Oh, it's another scrimmage? Okay.
So we have. So
He's going to play tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, at this level, kids are throwing 85 to 90. Colin made contact last week, and even though he didn't get on base, he made contact, and that's after having taken a full year off.
And it was because I'm not used to left-handers. Like you don't really see a lot of left-hander pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to kind of adjust. Point being,
The only time he sees any kind of consistent left-handed pitching is when I'm throwing live batting practice to him. So, but, all right. So we're gonna get this started here. Oh, actually, you know what? Before we do, I was remiss last week when we were recapping our Texas Motor Speedway experience. There was a pitcher.
Traction out of that story.
There was a pitcher that I really wished that I would have shared. So let me go ahead and pull this up here.
Did I don't think I've even.
All right, go ahead, David. If you'll pull that up for me. See, my wife knows what's up. I don't want to say that I've trained her well, but I've educated her. How about that? So 7-Up, for those of you who don't know, is a superior soda as it relates to the whole Sprite versus 7-Up war, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, if you take 7-Up and you squeeze fresh lime juice into it, it takes it to a whole new level. Yeah. But so getting back to the whole presentation, remiss and apologizing for last week's, oopsie daisy. Chris and I saw this gentleman walking up to, past us, and we yelled out, "It's the Catalina fucking wine mixer." And he turns around and he goes, "I actually got this shirt in Catalina." I said, "Sir, you need to take your picture with us." And he obliged. So, yeah. Right there.
I didn't realize that I had covered up part of the wine, though.
I mean, doesn't matter. Still had sex, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah. But yeah, so I felt I needed to correct myself from last week. So to Mr. Catalina Wine Mixer, we do apologize. Not that you're listening. If you are, great. If not, we don't really care. Listen, did you know? No. It is time once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, angry faithful of all ages. For the sound of thousands of souls crying out all at once. Suddenly there was silence. There was a disturbance in the force. And from the furthest reaches of the outer rim comes the lone remaining Ronin Jedi, the survivor of Order 66, the one who told Yoda to get fucked and stay fucked. The one that made the third sister question herself, and the ninth sister shat in his own armor. The one that caused the chosen one to run away and ultimately turn on the Emperor. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and angry faithful of all ages, I bring to you my genetic code. The midichlorians are high, and the morality is low. The ability to question yourself into whether or not you should be listening to this with the Bible in hand, a full gallon of distilled holy water. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you this week's edition of Joke Time with Colin. Okay. Go for it, Colin.
What do you call a nurse with dirty knees? The head nurse.
Okay.
My favorite nurse.
Hello, nurse. What was that? Doctor, I need back.
That's a good one.
Okay,
Solid stuff,
sorry.
Colin. Solid.
Go ahead, Colin.
What is a priest's favorite sport? Golf, because most of the holes are under 18.
Oh no.
Ooh, that was good.
Oh no.
Oh.
Wow.
Ah.
I was expecting something about small balls. Yeah. Nope. That was a good one. That was a good one.
There's something about balls not dropping.
That no, you know what? That's low hanging fruit. I'm not going to touch that one.
What?
You got one more?
Oh,
You got
no.
one more?
No.
What?
Okay.
Oh man.
So you
Dude,
got 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to
I got your text when I was in the shower, and then I didn't see until I got out of the shower. So it was like I had to like speed get these jokes.
Well, you picked some good ones though.
That sounded, Johnny. That
Yeah.
sounded vaguely like an excuse. Vaguely, it was kind of getting close to.
Well, I tell you what, Colin has a 4-day weekend this weekend. So, programming note, we are going to be recording next week's episode on a Monday, where I will have Colin live in studio.
Ooh, there we go.
On the same shot that you get to see my smiling mug in.
I got to work Monday.
Damn it, man.
I mean, y'all can record. I can give you all the stuff and everything, but
What time do you go in?
7:00.
Okay, we can record before then.
Yeah, we just want to do a 2-hour episode.
In the morning or in the afternoon?
Afternoon.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
And I have to get everything set up. I leave at like 5.
Okay. And
So y'all can record. I'll give you all the stuff. It's a 12-hour shift, dude.
okay. All right. Just make sure that you brief me properly so that way I can control everything from this end.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So episode 129 will be brought to you sans David Pantalones.
We can go all around on Friday. But
What?
the good thing, the good thing,
Friday? We're talking about Friday.
Friday. We're talking about Friday? Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Friday.
We're talking about Friday.
Friday.
I understood you, Johnny. I know what you were going with. I understood that reference.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Moving on to NASCAR.
We still need to do our picks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. Look at Chris with the save. The quote unquote Jacka on the spot. All right.
I'm looking at the the teams are going against each other for this week, I can guarantee the 49ers are going to win.
Why? Because they're not playing.
No, they're playing the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Nah.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay, so first on the docket for Thursday night, we have got the Bears visiting the Redskins. Just for shits and giggles, because I learned my lesson by picking the Bears for last week. I'm taking the Redskins over the Bears.
Yeah.
Good on you on that one.
All right, next up, we've got the Jaguars at the Bills. We're taking Buffalo all day long.
Yes.
Wow, that's going to be a painful game to watch. Well, no, I'm not going to say it's painful as it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a barn burner, but the Bills are going to come out on top on that.
Yeah.
What seemingly is the resurgent Texans visiting Atlanta.
No.
I'm going to take the Texans.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's brave, Cotton.
They got that glimpse of what it means to play meaningful winning football. So they know what it means now. And Atlanta's probably still going to be just the tiniest bit jet lagged and maybe missing a couple of kidneys since they've had that trip across the pond.
Right. You know what? I will agree. I'll take the Texans only because of that fact. Because I don't think they're still going to be recovered after that trip.
Oh.
Yeah.
Literally the only reason I will take it because
Trevor Lawrence's strap on still going to be lodged firmly in the backside of the defensive line for Chicago of Atlanta anyway.
There's no other reason why you would pick the Texans. No other reason.
I mean, not unless they were on a bye week, in which case you pick them to not lose.
Right.
Texans go on a bye week, and guess what happens? CJ Stroud gets a non-football injury, and he's out for the rest of the season.
That doesn't happen in like the first game ever.
Blows his knee out while checking the mail.
Right? Where he has an Anton Yelich type injury where he gets crushed to death by his Jeep Cherokee.
Right.
Now, in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I making fun of the late, great Anton Yelich.
No.
The man was an icon. He was the new Chekhov, and he was probably one of the best Chekhovs.
Yes.
Since Walter Koenig, but
he was also fantastic in Odd Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
This was great. Yeah. I'm taking the Lions over the Panthers. Nope, I have zero faith in North Carolina. Or in Carolina, rather.
I have zero faith in the Lions, too. That's the problem.
Well, see, Jared Goff has actually got these people believing again, and this man can play football. I don't care what anybody says. He can play football.
Yeah, but you got 63 other people on the
But
team.
yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. So Matt Stafford went to LA and he won the Super Bowl that year. Well, guess what? He had an offensive line and Von Miller and Aaron Donald playing on the other side of the football for him. They won that Super Bowl. Matt Stafford didn't.
Right.
Jared Goff, who was leading that team to a kind of like a winning culture, all of a sudden, oh, you're going to get a 1-1 swap, or you're going to go to Detroit. We're getting their guy. He's like, all right, okay. Stunk up the joint for the first couple of games until he started getting the offensive line and the receivers behind him. When they started winning games, started giving people a reason to brave downtown Detroit, to brave the sports district, to go to Ford Field and actually start paying for their season tickets. Ford Field is starting to fill out again on a regular basis because of Jared Goff. I'm not saying I'm going to go out and buy myself a Detroit Lions jersey by any stretch of the imagination. If I do, it's going to be a hoodie sweater or just a regular sweater, and that's only going to be because I'm doing a Tim Allen impression.
Yeah, painting smock.
Okay.
I'll go along with it.
But I have less faith in the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
The
I
Carolina
would go along
Panthers
with-
have not been relevant since Cam Newton, and that is saying something. I'm not talking about the second coming of Cam Newton before he started wearing all those funky ass hats and wearing metrosexual clothes to the stadium. I'm talking about Auburn University. Hey, I'm Superman Cam Newton. Back when the league didn't have an answer for him.
Yeah, back when that meant something.
Right. Moving on.
I go with that.
We have the Titans at the Colts.
I'm gonna go Titans on this one.
You think so?
Mhm.
Because
Again,
initially I was leaning Colts on it.
on this one too.
Nah, Titans.
We're gonna go Colts. We're gonna go Titans. Titans over the Colts. The New York Football Giants are gonna take their talents to South Beach, and they're gonna go to the Hard Rock Stadium, and they're gonna get decimated. They're gonna get obliterated. They're gonna get embarrassed by the Fish of Miami. That's my pick.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why I was like suddenly a chain smoking Jewish gangster.
I don't know either. I'm wondering what happened there, but okay, whatever.
Hey,
You know what? Go ahead. Fill your
one-dimensional, David. Doesn't mean you got to give me some shit.
go ahead. Fill the airways with your mediocrity. It's okay.
My mediocrity.
It
What am I fucking
Mediocre.
forecasting the weather for you, David?
was his media mockery, is what he was trying to say.
Thank you, Chris.
As
Dude,
opposed
that's
to
not what you were trying to
your,
say.
as opposed to your tinyocrity. Is that
Are you done?
Ah.
I mean, thank
for now.
God.
For now.
Thank
No,
God
no.
Paul does the
I
joke.
need to hydrate and I need to refuel because before I start pile driving you again, I need to get my strength back up because
Gotta recharge.
gotta recharge, man.
He's not a young man anymore.
Bro. So we're gonna take the Fish over the Giants. Moving on.
Enthusiastically.
Saints at the Patriots. I hate to say it, but I think the Saints.
You think so?
Nah, I think Pat's got it.
Think about it like this, David. Okay, their starting quarterback, Mac Jones, came down to Dallas and got benched in the first half because he was horrible. Their backup quarterback did not fare much better. Their offense right now is an absolute shit show. Do you really want to go on record as picking the Patriots over the Saints?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think the Patriots is still better than the freaking Saints.
On any given day, yeah, but at the current moment, at this particular juncture, let me try to do this here impression here. But be prudent, especially at this juncture, to pick the Patriots. You just can't do it. All right.
Lockbox.
Chisel and stone now. All right.
Yeah,
We got the Ravens
bad taste in my
at
mouth.
the Steelers. I know. Monica Lewinsky said the same thing. Why she doesn't vote Democrat anymore? We've got the Ravens at the Steelers. Baltimore, I am not going to make the same mistake 2 weeks in a row. I am taking the Ravens over the Steelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those games. Is like you don't really care who wins or lose. You don't
Now
even
we've got the Bengals at the Cardinals. Now, ideally, you would think on paper, I'm taking the Bengals. But with the way that the Bengals have been playing and with the way that the Cardinals have been playing, I think I'm going to pick the Cardinals this week.
I think so. Bengals have let us down times already.
Yeah.
Then we have the Eagles at the Rams.
That's easy.
I want to pick the Rams so bad.
Yeah, you're absolutely true on that one, but
Emotionally, I want to pick the Rams.
Yeah.
But I also know that's just because of my hatred for the Eagles. Realistically, we all know that the Eagles are just going to spank them.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I don't like saying it.
And then we get the Jets, the Jetss, Jets. They're going to the Mile High City to visit the Donkeys. This is the official Angry Me pick, or the Angry Me who gives a fuck game of the week.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm taking the Jets on this one.
Oh, yeah. That's a no-brainer.
I realized I just can't type. Instead of Jets, I wrote jests, like jesters.
I say keep it in.
I
already fixed it.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. The question that is plaguing the NFL world right now is, will T-Swift accompany Travis Kelce and the Kansas City Chiefs to Minnesota for their game against the Vikings? It's not like she's doing anything right now. The Eras Tour is over. So, I mean, hey, she made what, like $5-6 million a show? She's got a little bit of cash to burn. Why not take some time off, travel, see as many NFL stadiums as you possibly can?
While she can.
While she can, because we all know that Travis Kelce is doing nothing more than serving as a buoy, as a life preserver, as a distress beacon, a lifeboat, if you will. Travis Kelce is going to do for your career what the lifeboats on the Titanic couldn't do for its third-class citizens. It's going to save you.
Oh. Speaking of,
unlike the Ocean Gate sub, Travis Kelce will not collapse under pressure.
That's I like that. I do like
Do you?
Okay. I'm thinking Chiefs over the Vikings.
Agree.
Yeah.
Whatever reason, my autocorrect wants to change Chiefs to chefs. I know it's Kansas City and there's a lot of cooks there, but
Actually,
not the same kind of
roast them.
they have some actually really good barbecue there.
Shut your whore mouth.
I swear to God. Just
That
when
is the only place in this country that I would willingly, and it's only because I've had it, willingly eat barbecue from besides the great state of Texas is Memphis. And that is because they got some badass ribs there, dude.
Oh yeah.
no.
Go to the Pig and Whistle right there off the main interstate coming through Memphis. That's where Elvis used to eat. That stuff's good. Oh, yeah. Especially as the appetizer, they got the pulled pork cheese fries. They're stacked that high on the plate.
Ooh.
Got my attention, sir.
Oh yeah. You go in there, you better wear your pregnancy pants. Go in there and pull your best, do your best impression of Joey Tribbiani on Thanksgiving. Joey don't share food.
Joey doesn't share food.
I mean, that plate comes in there and sits right in front of you. The waitress is like, "Can I get you anything else?" And you don't even hear because you're looking at that plate, salivating, going, "How you doing?" All right. I mean, you go to try to unbutton your pants to give yourself a little bit more room to fit all that food in, and you could hear Ross in the background. Pivot. All right. So, what I am sure is going to be considered an important game. The Cowboys are going to Levi Stadium to play the 49ers. This one I want to discuss.
I already know what you're going to say. I already know who you're going to pick. And it pains me.
Okay, well, you think about it like this. Right now, as it stands, the 49ers have the ranked second best ranked. You okay there, bud?
Yeah, you all froze, and then
Oh, okay.
So the Cowboys have the number 11th offense going overall versus the San Francisco number 2 offense. Now, that being said, Dallas has the second ranked defense versus the San Francisco 49ers 6th ranked offense or defense. The Cowboys are 14th in passing overall. The 49ers 9th. And rushing, the 49ers are the third best rushing team in the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys are 7th. Now, as far as rushing, I mean, unless they're like the number 1 rushing team and their offensive line is just notorious for making holes, I would not necessarily pay attention to that stat. Now, the last time that they played, which was December 20th of 2020, Cowboys were victorious in that game, 41-33. So I think if Dan Quinn can get his defense together, now bear in mind they will not have Trayvon Diggs because he's out for the season with an ACL. But they're still, even without Trayvon Diggs, they are still the number 2 defense going up against the number 2 offense. That's still going to be a marquee matchup. And it's going to be one that I think it's actually going to produce points for the Cowboys because, I mean, Dak Prescott, even though the guy has already got an interception this year, he's got 4 touchdowns. He's already thrown for 908 yards. He's 71.3% on his completion passing versus Brock Purdy, who is 72.3. He's got over 1,000 yards passing right now. Okay. So with the number 2 offense in the league, they're going up against a lot of secondaries that really at this point have not pushed the limits or have really emphasized the talent needing to come to the surface for these receivers. Now Brock Purdy hasn't not thrown any interceptions this year, and he's got 5 touchdowns. But again, I think that it's gonna be a trench warfare type game. Honestly,
You're not wrong on that one.
you got Christian McCaffrey, who's got 459 yards rushing on 80 attempts. Deebo Samuel, who has quite honestly probably been one of the bigger disappointments at this point in the season. He's got 54 yards on 11 carries this year. And you got Tony Pollard and Randy Dowdle, who, Tony Pollard has got 311 yards on 73 attempts, 2 touchdowns. Dowdle doesn't have any touchdowns. He's got 80 yards on 20 attempts. And that's really not still telling the whole story. It's really not, because, if you think about it, a lot of the plays that you see from the backfield are screenplays out of Dallas. So they run a lot of screenplays. They run a lot of bootleg options. So, I think, given everything, the number 11 offense for the Dallas Cowboys versus the number 6 defense for the 49ers, it's going to be a tough day for Dak Prescott. he needs to really analyze. He needs to go back and review film and learn how to check down again. Because that one interception that he did throw against Arizona, he had his tight end wide open. All you had to do is, look back across. I mean, all he had to do was look back to his left.
Yeah.
And he had a guy right there on the 1 yard line with 6-7 yards of separation between him and any defender around him. It's a vision problem. So figure out whatever your sleep number is, Dak, and stick to it for the week.
Right.
And then
Because honestly, I would pick the 49ers.
on paper and just by record alone, yeah, I would give you that. But
Now, I given props for what Cowboys been doing. Yeah, but
you just think that the 49ers at this point are a better team?
yeah,
Yeah, like I said, number 2 offense, number 6 defense versus 11 and 2, respectively. I want to be wrong on it, but I think that the 49ers will take this one.
Do you think it'll be a close game?
It's either going to be a 10-point game for the 49ers or it's going to be a 13-point margin for the Cowboys.
No in between.
Nope, no in between. I think it's going to be a 2-possession score regardless who wins.
I could see that. I'm hoping it's not going to be a blowout. Like
No,
But-
no, it's not going to be a blowout. No, not with these two teams. I mean, just the and then there's an intangible factor, David, that you got to bring into this into the consideration for this pick. The rivalry, the history between these two teams, regardless as to who is on the roster. 49ers and Cowboys games always go down to the last minute.
Mhm.
Always. I mean, even with MLB's new rules for speeding up the game when the Yankees and Red Sox play, guarantee you're going to sit your ass in those stands for 3.5 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm trying, like with our Philadelphia pick, really trying not to let emotion figure into it. I think that the Cowboys, if they go in there and they stick to their basics, they stay out of penalties, which a lot of times are self-inflicted.
Oh yeah.
Stay away from the dumb stuff. And
Which
I think that the Cowboys could actually pull out a 13-point victory over the 49ers. However, I don't know, man. Which way are you leaning, Chris?
My heart tells me Cowboys, but I know that's
your emotion talking.
yeah.
Right.
I gotta go with the Niners on this one. I hate to say it, I really, really do.
Think about how much this is paining. It pains you to say that. I'm the one that's got to type it.
That's why I let you do it. That way, if we're wrong, I could just say, "Oh, hey, Johnny wrote it. I don't know what you're talking about."
It's good, plausible deniability.
Exactly.
All right, now, for the last game of the week, next Monday night.
That hold on, Johnny. I gotta put up the just to help everybody else for the Packers Raiders game. Once again, I just want everybody to know thoughts and prayers. Just remember 988. That's all you have to type in. 988
Thoughts and prayers.
to get help. Okay. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. We'll even put it on Facebook.
Tots
Thank
and
you.
pears. Pots and pears.
Because this
All right,
this
well,
game.
be prepared for his savage description of this pick. Okay. The Packers, I believe, are going to roll into Las Vegas. They're going to barricade themselves in. They're going to dig in. They're going to fortify their position. And there will be so many shots on the Las Vegas quarterback that it's going to take the Las Vegas SWAT team and sheriff's department 2.5 hours to clear the field before the smoke clears.
Damn. That bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And after it's all said and done, the crazy, kooky, rich millionaire that decided to buy up a bunch of guns and shoot up a concert is going to be the Raiders owner.
Damn.
Damn,
Yeah.
Johnny.
I went there.
I mean,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, angry faithful of all ages, be aware you have now been put on notice. The bus for hell leaves at promptly 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. That is Central Standard Time. Yours truly will be driving. Beep, beep.
beep, beep.
We're going to get somebody that comments, I don't appreciate the mass shooting reference. Oh my God. I'm like, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
God. Unless you were physically there or know somebody who quote unquote died there. Guess what? It wasn't a random shooter. It was a Democratic operative put there to make the Second Amendment people look bad. So just
It wasn't one shooter either.
no, it was not. It never is.
Mm-mm.
Well, how about we don't hear about the people from the grassy knoll? Well, it's because they were dead and buried out in the middle of the Las Vegas desert before the end of the week.
Still have the shovel.
Now you make a reference. Now
Oh, dude, I was like,
references the whole time we've been making and just blank.
and then here comes David, boom, out of nowhere with his shooter reference. I mean, come on, dude. I'll give you bonus points if you can tell me what other movie that guy was in.
Really? He was in
I'll
two
give-
other movies?
He was in another very notable movie.
I'll give you more if you can name him and what songs he wrote.
Shit, I don't know that.
You have no idea. Yeah, I knew he was a
Another question?
musician before I knew he was an actor. Slavon Helms.
He was in The Right Stuff.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
He was Chuck Yeager's friend. Is like, hey, you got any Beemans? Yeah, I think I might got some. Mind if I borrow a stick? I'll pay you back later. Fair enough. That guy.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always knew him as a musician.
Yeah. I mean, it would be like David suddenly having a revelation. Dwight Yoakam's a country music star?
Actually, I met the man.
I thought he was just a shitty doctor on Crank.
I had a totem
I thought he
around.
was that dude that had his head cleaved wide open on Sling Blade.
No, I knew that because I had a totem around.
Look out. You and your little retard, little queer boy, get out of here.
No, I actually hung out with Dwight Yokel for a while. He had to do the USO show in Bahrain and drove him around.
What's up? Okay. See, I would love to hang out with Dwight Yoakam. Just that whole Bakersfield thing, you know, and I'm like, dude, I know you don't really wear those pants that damn tight. Those are just for the photo shoots, right? He's like, hey, he'd probably be like, yeah, no, I don't. Like, why do you think I'm having kids?
Him and Chris Isaac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris Isaac. There you go. All right. So to recap our picks for next week, we have the Redskins over the Bears, Bills over the Jags, Texans shocking the world, and that includes suppressed rice paddy workers in North Korea by beating the Falcons. We've got the Lions over the Panthers, the Titans over the Colts. See what I did there? I almost called them the Texans because why? They should still be in Houston.
Oh, bad.
The Fish over the New York Football Giants. We got the Aints over the Patriots, even though David thinks the Patriots are going to pull one out with the quarterback controversy going on and all the injuries that they seem to be experiencing at the moment. We've got the Ravens beating the Steelers because we're trying to right the ship and bring everything good back to the Charm City. We've got the Cards over the Bengals because why? Joe Burrow can't fucking play football this year. That's why. We've got the Eagles over the Rams because, well, as much as we hate the Eagles, we don't have that much faith in the Rams to do anything against anybody except a Pop Warner team. And we've got the Jets going to the Mile High City to park one in the rear of the Donkeys. We've also got the Chiefs over the Vikings. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you. We've got the Niners begrudgingly picked to beat the Cowboys. That is so painful to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? No, I'm going to amend something here. Hold on. Ronnie's taking the Cowboys on that one. You want me to add you on that one, Chris?
Yeah, add me on there. I know I'm wrong. I'm calling it now. We're getting that one wrong.
Oh yeah, we're going to take the L on that one, but I can't. Just on principle alone, I can't.
Yeah, I gotta stay true.
David's over there going, my record's gonna get even better. Until he calls us or texts us and be like, what the hell happened to the 49ers?
Yeah, I that's what's going to happen.
There's gonna be a guy. He's gonna come out of the game. He's gonna come out onto the field somewhere after the kickoff to the second half, and he's gonna be like, "This city is a cancer."
That's not wrong.
With defecation on your street corners. Well, I'm here to put you on notice. You know, it's like, I don't know why Bane has like a touch of Sean Connery. At the end, but, you know.
It's like Sean Connery doing Bane.
I can do that.
Celebrity Jeopardy.
Sure.
Fuck you.
No, wait. Hold on. So, you want to use the dark as an ally? Look, I was born in the dark, molded by it. In fact, the first time I saw the light, I was already a man. I will break you.
It's like,
Then I will come back to Gotham and I will sleep with all of your women. Yes.
it's like Bane on the Rock.
He's like,
You ever heard that?
losers drive brown Volvos and winners get to go home and fuck the prom queen. I drive a brown Volvo and my girlfriend was the prom queen. You cannot convince me that The Rock was an unofficial James Bond movie.
I was just gonna say that. You ever heard that fan theory that that he was actually James Bond, and it actually lines up like with certain of his movies. It lines up really well.
Guy Ritchie is rumored to have a 2-pitcher contract for James Bond.
Oh no way! A James Bond, Guy Ritchie
Directed by John Ritchie or Guy Ritchie. Yeah.
Oh,
Henry Cavill just had an audition at Albert Broccoli Studios, and the director, an unnamed director, said that Henry Cavill's audition was tremendous.
Oh, that's awesome.
We are gonna if we don't get an Idris Elba or Tom Hiddleston James Bond, I want Henry Cavill.
Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
oh,
That'd be fantastic.
dude.
You really want to jump down a rabbit hole sometime look up, and I'll see if I can find this video. It's on YouTube. That you've seen the movie Snowpiercer, right?
Yeah.
That there
Yeah,
is
put that in.
that Snowpiercer is actually a sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Really?
Really? Oh, you know what? I can see that now.
Oh no, this dude goes into it's like a 20-minute video, and he breaks it down so freaking well. I swear to God, like by the end of it, I was totally convinced. I was 100% convinced. I will find that video. I will send it. I'll put it in the group chat for you guys.
Okay, cool.
It's oh my God, it's mind blowing because it makes so much damn sense.
I did the official unboxing for David and Chris before the show started. Colin, I sent you the picture before they even saw anything.
You did?
I did.
Oh, that's right. You did.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and in retrospect, before we get to the NASCAR section, we're picking the Packers over the Raiders. Those are the picks for the week, David. I'm fixing to send those to you so you can get them up on our Facebook page.
Okay.
I might have to go because I got food. So
That's
Okay.
fine.
All right.
Oh, that's
Uh,
how.
Hold on just a second, Colin, because you're going to want to see this. Okay.
Let me
so,
put you on solo. Let me see here.
okay.
There we go. You're on solo.
I have had this particular model on my bucket list of things that I absolutely wanted to build since 2009 when the original release of this model came out. I ordered it and I got it today. This is the 1/350 scale USS Enterprise refit, right, from Polar Lights. This thing, when it is fully assembled, is 34 inches long. Okay. It is massive. I opened this up today, and I'm telling you, I was blown away. The saucer section alone is 16 inches across. You see that, Colin?
yeah,
16 inches. This is one of the warp nacelles. Okay. Oh, and Colin, check this out. This is the sheet of decals. I am wigging out. Like, holy cow, dude. And like they packed this box a certain kind of way where I'm just like, oh Lord, oh mercy, you need to have a doctorate in quantum physics and have worked part-time at IKEA to pay your way through school just to repack this box properly. But man, you can take him off solo here right now, David. I am not at this point. I just have the model itself. And so I'm going to get all of the pieces for it. I'm going to get the photo etch. I'm going to get the Aztecing stencils because I'm going to airbrush the Aztecing on there. Which, for those of you who don't know what Aztecing is, it simulates steel paneling. So it's different shades of steel. But instead of using decals in the gray tones that they use on those decal sheets, I'm going to use pearlescent paints to paint my Aztecing panels on. And so I'm going to have to tackle that section by section by section. And I'm only going to be able to do that once I get the sub-assemblies. We're talking about the saucer, then the cells, the pylons, and the star drive, which is the secondary hull, all lit. Because I'm going to put light in this thing. I'm going to get all the sub-assemblies assembled. I'm going to get them glued together, and then I'm going to have to stencil everything off a section at a time. It's going to take me, once I have all the pieces for this build, it's going to take me about 8 months to put this model together. And when it is done, I'm not going to be able to go back and put together anything else and not feel like it's just an inferior build. Right?
It's going to be hard to step up from that.
It is. Now, something that I'm going to use is kind of a dry run for it, just to kind of get my hands dirty again. and I discussed this with David and Chris via the text message thread. I have a model of an F-117 Nighthawk stealth fighter. I am going to purchase a 3.8 ounce fluid ounce bottle of the world's blackest paint to paint this aircraft with.
If you've ever seen that on video, it is insane.
Yeah, if you have not seen it,
Oh,
Google the world's blackest
amazing.
paint. There's a guy out there who did an entire YouTube series where he painted his H2 Hummer with it.
Yes, I saw that.
And he rolled it out in the sun. It didn't look real.
Yeah.
It absorbs 99.4 or 99.7% of all light.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks like it's like you brought it out in the yard and it looked like it was like it hadn't been.
It looked like a cartoon. It looked like a cartoon black.
It's like you haven't unlocked it in your lineup yet.
Yeah, it's a skin you haven't unlocked yet.
It's just blacked out.
Yeah, so I'm gonna paint the F-117 in those colors.
That's gonna be crazy.
And the only white that's gonna be on it is gonna be for the interior bays and the landing gear.
How much does that paint cost?
That paint is like $24 for a 3.8.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how much the guy that painted his H2 Hummer spent, because he bought like 3 gallons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. So I'm going to build that. And when I'm done with it, I'll debut it on the show. And I've got to find some place to put it in my house. Because, dude,
you gotta get busy starting to build some more shelves there, dude. You're running out of space.
Yeah. I mean, the Enterprise alone, it's probably going to have to reside on my dresser in my bedroom for the first couple of months that I have it.
Sure.
After it's been
all by
completed.
itself.
Like the level of anticipation. When I got the notification, I went to culttvmanshop.com. And that's CULTTVMAN shop.com. And that's where I ordered this. The kit itself was like priced for like 98 something, but with shipping, I spent like 114 on it. So, but he's got so many other things there, right? I mean, Star Trek, he's got some Star Wars kits. He's got a lot of like figurines that you can build, stuff like that. Aircraft, he's got cars. I mean, there's a ton of stuff on there. The guy is absolutely an amazing customer service guy. It just, because I mean, I kind of put a feeler out on one of the Star Trek modeling pages that I belong to on Facebook, and a lot of people recommended his page, so that's where I went. And I mean, as soon as I put it back out on the page, it's like I just placed my order with Cult TV Man, and the owner of the page, the owner of the shop, replied to my comment on my own thread and said, I just prepared your order and shipped it out this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it said ships within 1 to 2 business days. He got it out the next day because I ordered it Thursday night, probably around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, because I couldn't sleep. He sent me the message. He replied to the thread Friday morning that he just prepared the order and got it shipped out. I got the tracking number for it that day, and it showed up at my door today.
Damn, that's fast.
Yeah. I mean, so if you guys are looking at, building anything, or even just contemplating like kind of, anything modeling related, go to culttvmanshop.com. And I'm telling you, the dudes, hands down, 100% recommend him 100% of the time. But moving on, Colin, you said you got to go because you got food?
Yes.
All right, bud. Good luck in your game tomorrow. Have your mom take a lot of pictures. Have her send them to me. Give brother a hug. I will give you guys a call Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday, we're driving all the way up there because got you for a 4-day weekend, bud.
Yep.
All right. Love you 3,000, buddy. Talk to you
Later.
later. There he goes, everybody. So this weekend, NASCAR visited Talladega. Talladega is always that wild card race because it's the super speedway. You know, you can get caught up in somebody else's mistake that is like 6 rows in front of you, and you're traveling within 6 to 7 inches of the guy on either side of you, and you're traveling at close to 200 miles an hour. Literally, when the pack is all together, first place and 31st place are separated by less than a second. That's how fast the pack racing gets at Talladega. Ryan Blaney actually picked up the win, which was kind of cool, but he barely beat out Kevin Harvick for the win. I want to see Kevin Harvick visit victory lane before his career is over. This is his last year. This is where the cowboy rides away, kind of a thing.
What about the Wonder Bread and the Old Spice cars? How are they?
All right, so for those of you who are trying to understand what David's talking about, excuse me. Hold on, Bled. Oh my God. Hold on just a second.
You're about to be mean. You're like, man, that was actually a good one.
No, it really, dude. No.
When has he ever had a problem being mean?
And for the record, no, was not good. Okay. Ryan Preece and Chase Briscoe from Stewart Haas Racing this weekend recreated the Talladega Nights paint schemes of Ricky Bobby and Cal Naughton Jr.
Yes, they did.
In fact, Ryan Preece, who was in the Old Spice car, which is Cal Naughton's junior car, for the driver introductions, actually walked out and did the whole and then walked through, just like Cal Naughton Jr. did in the movie. Because
Awesome.
there was a TikTok that went out the day before. If Ryan Preece doesn't do this, we riot. And apparently either he saw it or he already had it planned to do it. Those cars actually looked really good, and they were racy. They were leading for a little bit there.
Oh yeah. No, they had to have that queued up as soon as they came up with it. They're like, we have to walk out like this.
We have to do it. Yeah.
There's
I
no
mean, so yeah, and I just thought it was great because at the race we saw a guy that almost was a dead ringer for Will Ferrell, and he was wearing a Wonder Bread fire suit walking around.
Yes.
You know?
It was through the Midway, right?
Yeah, it's through the Midway.
Yeah,
he actually went over there and was talking to the people that had that wrestling ring set up.
Yeah.
So, but Ryan Blaney picked up the win. William Byron actually came in second on that race. Denny Hamlin. And the reason why Kevin Harvick didn't finish second was because he did not pass post-race inspection. They nailed him for something. I think it was the fasteners on his windshield, which
Really?
the fasteners for your windshield do not make you go any faster. I don't know. NASCAR has got
You never
it
know.
out for him.
You never know, Johnny.
I mean,
Maybe they're made out of mithril or something.
the only time, like, okay, so Denny Hamlin got dinged a couple of months back for having an unapproved piece of tape on the nose of his car.
Oh my God.
Right? You trying to tell me that something that is like 0.41 microns thin is going to make your car faster? It's going to help you out with downforce. It wasn't even over a grill. It wasn't over an opening at all. It was just on the nose. But hey, NASCAR going to do what NASCAR do. I mean, as much as I don't like Denny Hamlin, I think that the penalty was stupid.
Yeah.
And Kevin Harvick's car had to pass pre-race inspection, and nobody said anything about the fasteners then. You trying to tell me that somebody in the number 4 camp decided in the dead of night they're going to sneak into the garages and they're going to swap out all the windshield fasteners?
Mhm.
Come on, man. That's not a good look, NASCAR. It's not a good look at all.
It was the same guy that tied the noose in Bubba Wallace's garage.
Yes, it was the same guy that tied the noose in Bubba Wallace's garage stall a few years back. He's the Talladega Bandit, man. I mean, when is this guy going to stop? I mean, he's
Never.
never at the point. It's almost like he's writing encrypted letters to the police department or NASCAR's head office going, "You'll never catch me." You know? Not the gumdrop buttons. I'm like, come on, dude. Yeah.
Not the buttons. Not the gumdrop buttons.
Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin
Man?
Yes.
Yes, I know the
Muffin
Muffin
Man.
who lives on Drury Lane. He's married to the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man. The Muffin Man. God, I've seen that movie way too
I
many
went to Ollie's with Mindy the other day. We were just looking. Like, you know, you only go in there not expecting to buy anything, but then you walk out after spending like $60 or $70 and it's on crap that you know you don't need. No, I know what I went in there for. I went in there to see what kind of models they had on closeout clearance.
Yeah.
They had a couple of stuff that I was like, okay. I could see myself building it. Like they had a really cool Ford cargo truck that was for like a Coca-Cola paint scheme.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was a semi-tractor trailer is what it was. So it was it was like a day cab connected to a Coca-Cola trailer. But I was like, oh man, I got so many things on my build list. I would never get to this. But still walked out of there spending $70. We were in there and I forget what it was. We were seeing something. She said something about the Muffin Man. I was like, and I just said it loud out in the middle of the store. She's just like, oh my God. She starts laughing.
Did I send you that TikTok of the Airbnb in Scotland that actually has his swamp set up and his house in the swamp, and you can get it as an Airbnb?
No.
In Scotland. I'm gonna go find it. I'll send it to you. It is.
Yeah, you sent that to me. That's actually pretty cool.
I did send it to you. It was fantastic. I sent it to the girl I'm seeing right now, and she's like, "When are we going?" I was like, "I'm down. Let's go."
Say less. All right. So back to NASCAR. So Ryan Blaney has punched his ticket. He is now advancing to the round of 8, along with William Byron, who won last week at Texas Motor Speedway, and that was witnessed by Trace Truly, right? Not yours truly, but Trace, like 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's what I'm going with. I'm going with it. Next week is the Bank of America Roval 400 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway road course. There is a lot of grumblings and rumors flying around about next year's NASCAR schedule. Bristol is getting 2 concrete races. They're taking the dirt off of Bristol. Thank God. North Wilkesboro Speedway getting the All-Star race again. The Roval may be going away. Charlotte Motor Speedway may getting 2 races next year on the oval. The Brickyard 400's coming back. We're going back to the oval at Indianapolis Speedway, Motor Speedway. Cannot wait. That is going to be so great. There hasn't been a lot of rumors about the influx or the oversaturation of road course races for next year. There's even rumors that Texas is one race, non-playoff race, or Texas is one race, may get moved either to April or it may get left where it's at. Really not sure yet. The schedule for next year is supposed to be coming out in the next few days. So let me see here. Do they have it loaded? No, they don't have it loaded yet. So the schedule is due to come out in the next couple of days. So we'll definitely be reporting on that. But next week at the Roval at Charlotte Motor Speedway, that is the last race for the round of 8. You've now got 6 different drivers. You've got 10 drivers vying for 6 spots. Because after next week, they go to Las Vegas, they go to Miami, and then they go to Martinsville. Martinsville's the cutoff. The field of 8 will be whittled down to 4, and then we're going to head off to Phoenix for the swan song for the 2023 season. Hopefully 2 of those 4 going to be Hendrick drivers. I'm pulling for William Byron and Kyle Larson to be at that race contending for the championship. Even though we don't want it, Denny Hamlin probably going to be there.
Ooh.
And even if he doesn't qualify for the championship four, he's going to make his presence felt because it's Denny Hamlin, and he just wants to be a
person.
But he's only half the word, Denny. Blue Falcon.
Bravo Foxtrot.
Yeah, Bravo Foxtrot. Man, I really don't. I have not been playing I have not played Starfield once since I've been home from the race because I have just been consumed with schoolwork this week. So, I am, however, reading this really great book by Paul Weir. He's the same guy that wrote The Martian.
You got it in?
Yeah. It's called Project Hail Mary. Dude, I'm already 3/4 of the way through this book and I cannot put it down.
Nice.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Like the story just kind of pulls you in right away. It's a little slow at the beginning, but as soon as it takes maybe 2 chapters, maybe a chapter and a half before things really start to build, and you can physically see the foundation being built and you see walls going up.
Yeah.
And dude, it's such a good book right now. There's a book after this that's part of the same universe. It's called Artemis. I'm going to find a copy of that. I'm going to pick that up and give that a read. Once I'm done reading that, I'm going to find a copy of the actual Martian. I'm not talking about the motion picture adaptation. I'm talking about pre-movie edition. Maybe try to find a first or second edition printing of the Martian and kind of complete that set. Paul Weir is an amazing sci-fi writer. Absolutely. And then going forward from there, I'm probably going to start checking out like these secondhand bookstores, thrift stores, stuff like that, and see what I can find in the way of like Star Trek novels and start building my own collection, driving my wife and sister-in-law absolutely batshit crazy with it. So I'll have to start building shelves in the storage room just to keep my books. So,
more shelves.
Yeah, more shelves. My God.
The whole house is just going to be full of shelves.
$430,000 home. You got no wall space because you got books and models everywhere. Like, boy, there is no pussy being gotten in this house, is there? Nope.
Don't need it. We got shelves and models and books.
Right. Like, my wife and I use model building as a bonding experience. It's very intimate as you're applying a set of decals. Put down.
So I like what you did there.
Like
Bonding.
Yeah, see what I did there? That was pretty good.
like a ghost when they're doing the pottery making.
Right, from Ghost. Right. Yeah. Honey, I need you to put this 2-part clear into the airbrush. Gently stroke it back and forth. Be careful about the pressure that you use with your fingertip, You make it sound like Barry White.
Steady movement.
Kind of turned on over here.
It's fantastic.
On that note, everybody, we're going to close up the show for Nerd Sports episode 128. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. I'm David Dickerman.
I'm Johnny Skelton.
And I am Chris Jacka.
Thank you, everybody. Later.
Peace out.
Later.
Make yourself known. Stand upon that hill and take what is rightfully yours. David's virginity.